It's the mom life.
Hey guys, welcome to Living in the Moment with Bea and Steph. And today we're on, I don't know what episode we're on, but we are going to talk hot takes.
Woo!
Mom hot takes, pregnancy hot takes, delivery, just anything that either bugged us or
Definitely bugged
struck
us.
a nerve when we were pregnant or after or now.
Or good advice.
Yeah, or decent. I don't know if I have any decent advice. Anyway,
No.
we'll just talk.
They mainly pissed off.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Especially as new-time moms. So, like, the biggest thing I want to jump into, because I think all moms do, it's like the biggest stress, right?
Mhm.
How do you keep your child alive? Like, what do you feed them? Breastfeeding? Are we formula feeding? Are we doing both? And that was huge.
Mhm.
And we have different experiences. I breastfed early, like right away.
Yeah.
So I started breastfeeding, but my milk didn't come in right away. And everyone kept telling me, don't worry, B, it's going to come. Just keep putting your
Yeah.
baby. And it did. But it didn't come till like day 2, and my baby was starving.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing I can share with any mom out there, if you need to compensate with a little formula, do it.
Mhm.
Do it. As long as your baby eats, it's fine. I promise you. My milk came in, I think, by day 3. So not even day 2. I finally caved in, gave my baby milk. He slept. And yeah, we took it from there. My milk still came in. I breastfed him up until maybe 9 months or 10 months. And then my milk stopped. I also have a thyroid issue, so that also took place in that. But
Yeah.
then I jumped to formula, and we got him through to his first year, and now we're on whole milk.
Mhm. See,
And-
and we're a formula family. Maddie has been formula, though that was not my intention when I was pregnant, and so the hospital just made me so angry, and I'm just gonna go into it because this is a hot take. So when I had Maddie, they tell you right away, like, oh, put him to the breast, they'll start learning. Well, no, there was no learning. She couldn't latch, and all the nurse did was give me what are they called, a nipple shield,
Yeah.
and didn't show me how to use it. I couldn't feed her, right? So this is day 1. The lactation consultant didn't come in until late in the day 2, and then they discharged us. And all the lactation consultant said was, keep trying. And so there I am crying, getting discharged, telling the nurses, what am I going to do when the baby is screaming tonight at 2 in the morning because she can't eat? And they, I'm like, can I call you guys back? Like, what do I do? And they're just like, well, you can call urgent care. Are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean I can call urgent care? You're sending me home with this baby that I don't know how to feed. What am I supposed to do? And so only then, when I was like crying, did one of the nurses feel bad and brought me this little tiny 4-pack of formula to take home with us. But even then, we didn't know how much to feed Maddie. And so my husband, sure enough, she starts crying at 2 o'clock that morning. And my husband was like, screw it, I'm not calling urgent care. I'm calling that maternity ward back. Called them, told them we were just discharged. We need more information on how to feed this baby. And then, they talked us through it a little bit, but that was really difficult. And I was just so, a little bit traumatized at that point. And then I ended up getting postpartum preeclampsia and had to get admitted back to the hospital. So that stuff combined, I wanted to breastfeed her, and it just didn't work out, which is fine. Formula is fine, and she's a healthy, happy baby. But the medical system did not make it easy for me to feed her in the beginning.
Yeah, and I do want to say, it really, as long as your baby eats, guys. I think we're so hard on ourselves because we want it to be natural, and
there's a lot of societal pressure with breastfeeding.
So
that
much.
Breast is best, and it is good for the babibies, and they do get
Right.
extra immunity from it, and
Right.
and it is good for them. But don't make formula moms feel bad for
Don't
any
let it
reason.
break
for
you.
any reason that
Yeah.
anyone wants or needs to use formula. It's fine.
Don't let it break you.
Yeah.
And even I feel like, because I got to do both, I got to see both ends, because I did feel like when my milk ended, I'm like, why is my milk ending? No
Yeah.
one else did. Everyone got to push their baby to 12 months. Why am I drying out? What's wrong? It doesn't matter. My kid has been big, healthy, strong, 99 percentile the entire time. Formula, breast milk, it doesn't matter. A happy baby, a healthy baby is a fed baby. And that's the only thing that matters, honestly. And really, I do want to touch base back on Stephanie. Like, I feel it's the hospital experience because my baby wouldn't latch, but my nurses were nonstop. Like my husband can attest to it. We had an amazing experience at the hospital, nonstop. They set us up for appointments with the not lactose, lactation. I liked my husband's lactose. With the lactation nurse, and it was amazing. Like we met her maybe for 2 weeks after, and yeah, it was easy. It was good.
Yeah.
I also did a lot of pumping. So I breastfed and I pumped. And it was exhausting. And yeah.
I think that's part of it too, which brings us into our second, I don't know if it's a hot take, but just something that everyone told me while I was pregnant, because I was, I felt like I was going to be a teen mom. I'm 33 years old. I was not going to be a teen mom, but in the sense that, I was scared. This was a very planned baby, but I was still scared. And so part of the reason for that was that I didn't know what I was doing. I haven't been around a baby in I don't even know how many years. I don't think I had ever, if not maybe a couple times, changed a diaper. I had no idea what I was doing. And I voiced that to, people when I was pregnant. And a lot of what I heard was, oh, it comes natural. It'll come natural. You'll be fine. Okay, my hot take is that is not real advice because it made me feel really inferior when it did not come naturally, 2-3 days after having this baby, and I'm terrified to even change her clothes or give her a bath or anything that I needed to do, and I'm there just bawling because I don't know what I'm doing and it's not coming naturally. And so B actually heard a lot of this when I'm there just freaking out. And so let's stop telling people and setting that false expectation that it's going to come naturally. It's something that you need to learn like anything else. You have to learn how to be a mom and take care of a baby, and that's okay. And I wish someone would have told me that you're not going to know what to do and it doesn't come naturally. That's terrible advice that I will never give anyone.
Yeah, and I think what comes naturally is just like how you feel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like
for sure.
But not what to do. Like your brain still doesn't know what to do, but you know how you feel. So
no, you love this baby.
Right.
You want to take care of this baby. You know that it's your responsibility. But as far as what to do, no, you have to learn.
And I think we also have different experiences because I grew up with a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. So for me, I knew what to do in that sense. I had a C-section too. So my moving around was different. Mm-hmm. And Stephanie wasn't raised with a lot of kids like I was. I mean, growing up, it was a house of 4 moms. Me, I was one of the oldest girls, and then like 15 kids. Mm-hmm. So kids are easy for me. Almost. It was my pregnancy that was the difficult part getting through. But I think like for Steph, who didn't really grow up with kids all around her, like feeling like a daycare all the time, everything was new for her.
100%.
Everything. And like we got different advice all the time. And I feel like for me, one of the biggest things, even though I grew up with a big family, was don't be carrying the baby too much. Mm-hmm. And, I felt like you get a lot of right away, don't spoil the baby. Don't do this. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. But guys, just really love your mama. Yeah. They did. I don't know. Maybe it's like a super, super Mexican culture where they're like, it's called embrasilado. Like, don't make your baby like a crybaby, just carrying him all the time. Yeah. Like, that's very looked down upon.
I've seen that.
And I've heard a lot of people like, oh, you're lo estás embrasilando, right? Like, you're making him.
Get it, girl.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to carry my baby. I took forever to have this kid. I'm going to carry him. I'm going to love him. I only live once. So take things with a grain of salt.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
All of the advice and opinions that you're going to get. Which is another thing. So online, right, I ended up getting a lot of my advice online. And my mom and my family, my grandmas, everybody was a huge help. But for little things that I would like have to Google, or I was watching TikTok.
Contemporary things, because we do different things than our generations before us.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so a big thing, don't let your baby sleep in the swing. Don't let your baby sleep in their bouncer, in their car seat. And so when someone's just giving you this advice, it causes so much anxiety. Like, do they need to be watched maybe while they're sleeping in the swing? Yeah, but they can sleep in the swing, okay? And so there I am telling my husband, like, she can't fall asleep. She, it's dangerous. And thank goodness, he has 2 kids prior to us having our baby.
Right.
And so he knew a little bit, like, tried to calm me down. Like, Stephanie, she can sleep in the darn swing.
I honestly was going to say that when you were saying, I didn't know and I'm thank God for for your honey because
Yeah.
he had just a little bit of an insight.
No, he was, like I
Yeah.
said, I was bawling when they were discharging us from the hospital, and he,
But can you
was
imagine if
able
he
to-
didn't have that insight?
No, I know. I
Right.
mean, he was just more, we have different personalities, so he was more confident in general. But he was like able to put her in the car seat,
Right.
take like I truly knew nothing, guys, and so that was a huge help. And so anyway, like don't get all advice from the internet because it will scare you and give you the worst possible scenarios. And to function as a mom, like some of this stuff is okay. And that's a lot of what my mom has told me too. Like, and granted, it might not always be the case that, these older generations say, well, we did it with you and you're fine, right? Like we've learned a lot and that's a good thing. But some things are okay and you don't have to listen to every single opinion and everything you see online, and not everything has to be, scary. And
Right. And it's really about balance because when you said, back to reference of parents, like, well, I did it. That's my biggest thing with my mom. Stop telling me, like, do I look okay? Do I look normal, Mom? My kids can be better than me. Stop saying just because you did it with me, he's fine. No.
You are.
He's going to be better.
Which is something everyone wants for their kids, but...
But you do hear that a lot from the grandmas, like, oh, here you go being dramatic, and here you go being this. We're just a different generation. Like, don't give them...
society has just learned more.
Right. That's what I tell them. I'm like, Mom, we're just more educated.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, you're really not. You just think you are. But I feel like I do things differently than my mom, and not like a far stretch. Foundationally, we do the same things.
Yeah.
But just little things like sugar or just little things. She's like, oh, he can have juice. My pediatrician, don't give him juice till he's 2 because it's sugar.
No,
like
that's
different
even
things.
Doctors, though, like we've
Right.
already given Maddie juice when she's needed it for,
And
for
they
going to
okayed
the
it.
potty or whatever she needs to do. Yeah, and they're the ones that told us to give her the juice.
And they're like, don't ever give him juice because that's sugar water. Like,
Yeah.
only give him water and milk, really, until he gets to a certain, like, 2,
So
3,
even
4. So
doctors'
even doctors,
opinions are
yeah,
gonna be
friends,
different.
moms, like,
yeah.
just-
So really, just the main thing is do
Yeah.
what's best for you, right? Like
yeah,
that's kind of the
what feels right for you and your baby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the pattern that you follow.
As long as your baby's fed, healthy, safe, clean,
Yeah,
you're doing a good job, Mom.
exactly.
You really are. We
What
all are.
else?
Yeah. So I think another thing, for Steph, that was a big thing that I remember was names.
Oh my gosh.
So
do
mine-
not tell people your thoughts on what you're going to name your baby. Like, don't go there.
Yeah. That
you
was a
choose
big
the name
thing.
that you like, and you just keep that to yourself because we had so many opinions on
So much
names.
animosity on
And
on that side, for names.
It makes and it's like you're pregnant, right? So you have all these hormones
Right.
already and these like
Everything makes you cry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I shared like these ideas that we had on names, and we got a lot of pushback on certain ones, and I was so upset.
And
I'm
it's
like,
it's always the people that know how to get under your skin.
yeah.
Like, it's like the closest people, right? Like your mom, your
Yeah.
grandma.
Yeah.
Like, it's anybody. Like, it's always the people you're the closest that make you're like, why did you ruin this for me? Now I'm
And
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like things worked out the
Right.
the way they were supposed to.
because
and-
you still do it your way and it's gonna be fine.
yeah, the
Like-
name that we went with, everybody loved.
Maddie.
But yeah, it also took me a while to tell them. I did tell them before she was born, but not by much. Because
Right,
I
because
just couldn't deal with
She
another.
started like throwing
opinion.
names out and then
Mhm.
realized, yeah, we're not doing that.
It's just opinions. People's opinions.
Yeah.
You do not need people's opinions on every
Yeah.
little part of your life, and that's
Right.
that's an aspect that everyone feels that they have, a say
Well,
in.
and not even just names. I think names affect you more because it's long term, right? That's their name forever. But
Yeah.
even like our baby shower, like our name wasn't an issue because we just named him after his dad, Junior.
Mhm.
Real
Yeah.
clever. But for the baby shower, like, oh, why are you guys doing that theme? Like, why do people care what freaking theme you're doing? It's
Yeah.
your baby shower, your nursery. Like, but yeah,
I didn't get any pushback on
I
that.
did.
Yeah.
We did dragons.
Which is
So-
cute.
Which is so cute,
Where's
right?
the controversy in dragons?
Oh God, I didn't even want to get started. But you do. You
They
get
found
opinions.
one.
Yeah. Everything like, oh, you guys gonna grow up one day?
Oh, well,
No. We're not. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This
We're
is me grown up.
33 years old. We're just where we are. Like,
Yeah.
that's that.
We're millennials, guys.
Yeah. Though the other day someone told me, this is just super side note, we were at a wedding and one of my husband's cousins was like, how old are you? And I told her and she's like, you don't look it. And I'm like, oh, thanks. That's what I go for.
I do. I honestly, like when I look at people I went to school with, I'm like, oh my God, we all look young. We all look like in our 20s.
I think that's the thing though, because like,
Yeah.
I feel like that too. But when I look at pictures of like, I don't know, older generations, like
not our parents, because
school-
they look
yeah.
like 40 in high school.
Older generations.
Yeah.
It's like they did look older for whatever reason.
I think it's like the lotions, but it's also, and this is a different
The
conversation.
styles.
Oh, and hormones in the food.
Oh, maybe.
I
Yeah.
honestly, like, look at our pore, look at our skin. Like, it's just so different.
Maybe.
Even how we
Yeah, that's a
age,
good
our
point.
wrinkles, like,
Mhm.
it's all that. It's the stuff that's not real that we eat.
Could
And now we're turning plastic.
Could
Like,
be, yeah.
yeah, I honestly think that, like, we're getting there, guys. We're almost there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where were we going with this?
Oh, just hot take. That was just a random side note that I had that we
Yeah, this
are
is
looking
us.
younger, I guess, as a whole, as a generation.
Right. Oh, going back to millennials. We
Yeah.
are in our 30s, but
Mhm.
we look in our 20s. And if we don't, you tell us
Don't
either way.
tell us. No,
Just-
don't tell us.
That's what I mean. Tell us we're in our 20s.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Just, okay, girl.
Let us be oblivious.
You go,
no,
girl.
No. Sometimes I do see pictures of myself when I was in high school or when I was in my 20s. I'm like, oh no, I don't look this
and
way
have
at all.
you heard that saying, like, you feel like you're in your 20s till you hang out with 20-year-olds?
Oh, yeah, that's
Then
so
you're
true.
like, nah.
Yeah,
I
totally
can't-
true.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely in my 30s as far as, like, what I do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And not just even having before I had my kid.
Same.
I just wanted to be home, like, relaxed, like,
Grocery store.
Right.
That's fun.
Right. I actually lived through Stephanie. Stephanie travels a lot.
Well,
She's a
kind
Vegas.
of. Yeah, we go to Vegas.
She's a Vegas queen.
Yeah. Though well, I did go while I was pregnant, but not since having a baby.
Even when she was pregnant, I'm like,
twice.
pregnancy's
We
not
went
stopping
twice.
her.
Yeah.
She's going to Vegas. She's gonna hear Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I wonder if we can
I
insert
know.
the clip. There's a video from because we went for my birthday when I was pregnant, and we got like table service, and here comes the girls with their
Oh, cute.
fireworks, sparklers, champagne things
And
coming
your
out with the
belly
bottles.
up.
And I'm just there with the chicken fingers, like, yeah.
How fun.
Yeah, I have a video of it.
I feel like we've known each other for 10 years, guys.
Mhm.
We've never done a trip together like that.
Yeah, which is
We need to do one
surprising.
thing.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have a baby trip, so maybe not as wild, but it's
Disneyland.
still wild. Little poopy diaper here, little
What's
like.
that place where everyone goes with the swimming? Oh, Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Meow Wolf, but yeah, it is
Great
Wolf.
Lodge.
We can go to that one.
I don't know. That one kind of grosses me out a little bit. But
The-
I mean, that's one thing I've had to get
Yeah.
over as a mom too. Is like my germaphobe deal.
I'm not germaphobe.
It's
like,
not
yeah.
as bad anymore at all, and not in the sense that like I let anything. I don't let us be dirty. I don't let her be
Right,
dirty.
right.
But like home wise or like it's not as bad anymore.
Yeah, I remember even motherhood changes you because I've changed as far as scheduling, but going back to cleaning, I feel like you were crazy sanitizer in the beginning.
And
And
of
you
like
you're
bottles and stuff.
You still a
Oh
sanitizer.
no, we still do that. Yeah, I'm still
But I
on the
remember
sanitizing.
she would call me and she's like, "I have to sanitize. Like
Yeah.
I have to." And or like her husband and the mother-in-law or mom, they're like, "Stephanie, it's okay.
You don't need to." Yeah, and I'm like, no. And actually, I do still really like it because our sanitizer dries the bottles, which I find so convenient. It dries the bottles. It dries the
mine does too.
pacifiers. So
Right.
I do still like using it for that reason. But I have become more lax. If something just needs to be washed real quick under the sink, like it's fine. It doesn't need to be sanitized every single time. But that's also because Maddie's bigger. She's 6 months. so-
Right. And now their immune system has built up.
Yeah,
I feel like I
exactly.
think the same way. I'm
Mhm,
like,
yeah.
when he was newborn, we had a tub that I took from the hospital because they're going to charge me either way.
Yeah.
But there was a tub and we would fill it up with hot water. We'd put the baby soap. We would soak them 1st and then sanitize them. Like we did a whole thing.
Yeah.
That kid, he eats wipies now. Like Like the other day, I'm not even gonna go into like you just change. Yeah,
That's the
you
thing.
just
She's
go with them.
grabbing a lot more
Right.
now, and I can't wash her hands every single time she grabs
And
something
you
that
just
is
can't keep up.
dirty. Yeah.
Or
So
this is us keeping up.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope you guys can keep up with us.
Oh yeah. Well, that concludes our hot takes. I'm sure we have more. We'll think of
We
more.
have a lot more. We'll keep talking,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
staying
you
with
guys
us.
for tuning in for another Moment Monday. See you next week. Bye.
Living in the moment, it's the mom life.